best friends on the water. It's where we start from, it's where we stop from, it's where we can scout from the river, it's where we can slow ourselves down, it's where we can get those great GoPro footages of our friends flying by us. Eddies have to become our friends in kayaking, because that is again where we start and stop. So we have set up kind of a mock eddy line here. So we're going to imagine this big flowing river going that way, which is this road, and this little outcropping that's creating an eddy line. Eddy lines, we'll call this the pocket. So this is the upper part of the eddy line. That down there would be the lower part. And the reason that this rope spreads out is when you see an eddy line, in itself, the seam of that eddy line will grow, it changes. So at the top, it's much thinner. As it gets towards the bottom, it gets much wider. Any guesses why that's important to think about when we're coming in and out of an eddy line?
So you know where it'll touch you and try to get back.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a lot of what I call confusing water. Because eddy lines, the river's going this way. This obstruction creates this natural little curl in the water where an eddy line can look very still, but it is in fact moving upstream. So all the water here is slowly moving up. They're all kind of meeting at this point, and they're all very confused through this section. They don't know which way they're going, and it's very boily, it's very confusing. So if you've ever tried to enter an eddy line late or leave an eddy line lower in the section, that's where you get tripped up, that's where you see people get flipped. So we always want to aim for the pocket. Just like if we were playing pool, I hate sports metaphors, but here we go. Aim for the pocket. When we're coming into an eddy line, we want to have some good speed. We want to come in and we want to hit this pocket as close as we can. And that water, since it's going upstream, is going to automatically turn the boat. There's a few things that we need to keep in mind here. We, when we are instructing, use the acronym PACE. P-A-S-E. So position, angle, speed, and edge. Position is always your head. Your head always is looking at where you are. So you've got a good upper body position. You're paddling strong. You're looking right at that pocket. You're going to take an angle that's going to allow you to enter into this and not get caught up down with it. So you're going to angle going into it, say 45 degrees, give or take, depending on how fast the current is, and we'll practice this more on the water. So you've got your angle, you've got speed. You want to get enough speed to get over this, because if you don't, you're going to kind of get jumbled up into this confusing water and potentially flipped over. So you've got to take a few nice strokes going into it. I think the most important thing, anytime you're working with seams, if it's an eddy, a hole, a ledge, anything that has a seam on it, is your last stroke should be on the inside of your turn and pulling over that edge line. You're going to come in, that last stroke is going to get me just past this seam line, pull across, and now the E, the edge, you always want to show your butt to the current. That's the way I've always learned it, or just lean into your turns. So since we're turning right, I'm going to be leaning in, but I'm also putting up my butt this way because, again, this current is actually moving this way. Get that edge, and it's going to pull me right around. Also, taking that last stroke on the inside automatically gives me kind of a little brace, a little something here where if that snapping motion maybe makes me lean a little bit too much inside, I've got that there. So that's what we're going to work on when we get out of the water. And it's the very same thing when we exit an eddy line. We want to start back a little bit where we can take maybe 2 or 3 good forward strokes. We're going to get a good powerful stroke. And again, we're going to take the last stroke over the seam line on the inside and go past. This current is going to grab the boat, pull us downstream. So our position, head's looking out in the water where we want to go. Our angle is going to be about 2 o'clock if we're entering on this side, 10, 11 to 12, maybe 10 on the other side if we're on the other side of the river. Gonna have some good speed, gonna take 2 or 3 solid strokes, and then I'm gonna edge. I'm gonna pull just a little bit of an edge up so that moving water can get underneath my boat and help me go downstream.